It's Monday night at 7:30, and this is, of course, the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boylesports, the principal sponsors of Birmingham City Football Club, M.A.REILLY French Polishers, Garrison Coffee Company, and in conjunction with all our friends at Accessory Blues, SAS Autos, Blues Trust, and TJ Monkey's Garage, supporting a host of charities up and down the country, and, of course, local as well. We are here for the next 90 minutes, an hour and a half, ladies and gentlemen, at the same time as a game of football. And this is what Mondays are for.
Welcome.
Thrice verily welcome. That's all I can say, Christopher.
Thank you.
Good evening to Mr. Rowe.
Good evening, everybody. Are you all okay?
Yeah, nice one, mate, yeah. And, of course, one and only Mr. Paul Hipkiss.
Evening all.
On our fan cam tonight, we have a special guest for you, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Alan Watton.
Good evening, everybody.
Who are you?
Not so special, I don't think.
And we show again tonight, as always, the inimitable, whose birthday is on Friday, Mrs. Brown.
Did I mention that? This Friday, 24th, Friday, don't forget, this Friday.
Oh,
okay.
It's one of my favourite parts of the show ever, Chris, is when you do that. It's brilliant. I love it.
All right.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So, it's been a bad week at the office. Still half the ground shut. 7 goals conceded. Troy got his first. I wouldn't want to personally scored my first on a 4-1 defeat, but there you go. He's got one. 4,000 down to Peterborough. I think we were let down a little bit, to be fair, even though I didn't go. And shouts of racial abuse going on in our crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen to this. If you want to racially abuse anybody, ever, I will ask one eyed bass to come on the show in Chris's front garden, and I'll invite you along as well. See how your filthy comments go. Then I wasn't at the ground. I can't point fingers and I can't blame. But I tell you what, credit to the little person that kind of dobbed you in, because if it was you, you are a moron. Mm-hmm. End of that. I ain't going to talk about it anymore. Yeah. Welcome, Paul. 2 games, 7 goals down, mate. We've really hit the highlight this week, haven't we, kid? It's only Birmingham City, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's been a bad week. I thought we played well against Fulham. It was just a difference of, it was the tale of who took their chances, weren't it, really, I'd say, in that game. And Fulham were...
their goalkeeper was off the scale. We hit the post. Boom. These things happen, don't they? They
put their chances away better than what we did on the night. But overall, I thought the performance was okay. I thought 4-1 probably flattered them a little bit. But it is what it is, isn't it? You move on to the next one. And
it definitely did flatter them, Paul. And even it's like an hour and 25 minutes for me to go home. My journey didn't seem as though we'd had a defeat.
No. But then
when you're down and you're proper down and you come home, you kick a cat twice and chuck a bog roll at the missus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that. I felt like we'd actually performed quite well, but we're just incredibly unlucky on the night, and that happens. But for 4,000 Blue Noses to go down to Peterborough and to get turned over 3-0 against Peterborough, who came up from the lower leagues last year, not acceptable.
No, and you got to give credit to the opposition as well, though. I mean, on the day, they played us off the park on the day. It's all on the day, isn't it? Football.
Yeah, it looked like they'd done their own work.
I don't know if it was a bit of complacency setting in because we give Fulham a good game and we thought we just had to turn up to beat them. I don't know if there was a bit of that there, but on the day we were very poor on the day, and it's hard to be too.
We were good against Stoke. We were good against Derby. Yeah. Just back up the matches. Yeah. And I couldn't go to the game because of the commitments. But I was reading Twitter feeds and they were saying we just hadn't turned up.
No.
In front of 4,000 of our own.
Yeah.
Right. Probably making the most noise Peterborough has ever heard in its lifetime. And we didn't turn up.
No. It's hard to be too negative and critical because we're having a good season overall. We're 11th in the division.
Well, I'm not being critical. I'm not. I'm genuinely. I'm not.
No. I mean,
when you go south to Peterborough and take 4,000 of your own with you, and sell every single away ticket, then I'm sorry, we really got to expect a little bit more.
I think we expected a lot more, and we expected to beat them quite comfortably, if I'm honest. Obviously, looking at the league table before the game, any betting person would have backed us. But it's like I said, like I've just said, it's all on the day. Anybody can beat anybody, and that's
Absolutely.
for you.
Did you go for?
No, I didn't. No.
You were there, Mark, weren't you? You were there, Mark.
Yeah, I went with my friend Jane, and we were talking. We drove down, and we were saying on the way. I've never, normally for an away game you get a few nerves and all the rest of it. But I was convinced we were going to win on Saturday. I'd known whether arrogance as well, but I just couldn't see us losing. But 3-0. It started off poorly. It went pathetic, and then it ended up dire. It was it was so bad. It's untrue. It was like, dare I say, a Steve Cottrell performance.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, crikey.
Alan, I'm going to bring you in now, mate. Did you go down?
I did. I was there, yes. And this is a secret. I was sitting amongst Peterborough people, and they were looking at this crowd, the people around me, looking at this crowd, and you could see them in awe, thinking, "Goodness me, what's turned up here?" Now, with all that going, the last thing you need to do is concede an own goal in 90 seconds, because all the people around me who were sitting there thinking, "Wow, what are we up against?" are laughing their heads off. Who are you? And that advantage that we may or may not have was wiped out in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And we never, from that moment on, we never looked like getting it back. There was a bit of fortune about the penalty. There was one or two dodgy flags not going up and going up. And I think I've looked at it a couple of times, and he was onside. But it came from our attack. We had a free kick. It was cleared. Boom, down they went. And that's reminiscent of, as you say, Steve Cottrell. It's reminiscent of Karanka's defensive setup. We'd be broken on very quickly and concede. And we haven't been doing that. We've until Fulham game, all season, we've been rock solid. If the thing's broken down, we've been on it, But Saturday, the third one, there was a pass that was we were 3-on-2.
Yeah.
And the pass hit the Peterborough bloke's heel, who was 25 yards away from, I suppose it must have been Colan on the wing, hit his heel, went to their bloke, and our right-hand side was open, and off he went, and they did the best to sort of hold him up. But eventually, they got the ball to somebody who was in the clear, and he scored. I'm not going to say it was, breakaways and luck or anything like that, but the actual, they had plenty of other chances, that they worked hard to make, and we defended and so on and so forth. But there was, it just knocked the wind out the sails straight away. And the second one, you're thinking, how many times do we win games 2-0 down away from home?
Not many.
We don't.
No.
Alan, from your view then, Alan, because you were sitting in the end, right? Yeah. If you were a fan, what would you have thought of that army of supporters that went down there from Birmingham?
Well, I say they were in awe. The people around me. There's 11,000 there, and you've got nearly 50% of the crowd.
Yeah.
Who are vociferous anyway, and the Peterborough people were almost in silence. But they had. I think, to be fair, that our crowd inspired the opposition. Just they're thinking, well, we're up against it today. We're going to give this a go. And it worked. It should have worked in our favour, and it didn't. All down to this sudden, 90 seconds, and you had a goal down, and they're lifted beyond. These people who were silent up until the kickoff were jumping around like maniacs. And
I hope you weren't, Alan.
Pardon?
I hope you weren't.
Oh no! I sat patiently. I only let myself down the once in injury time in the second half. I think it was Colan went down the wing and somebody sided him down, and that really, and I suddenly jumped and went, you! And I suddenly I'd sat there in silence for 95 minutes, and in the last minute, I let myself. Nobody would have cared, but they didn't notice me. They're in crowd cuckoo land by then.
Still a very disappointment, though, Alan, that we can't all sit together and have a beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty. It was pretty because it was a new stand. I mean, I've been to 150 league grounds, and I know most of them by the back because that stand is brand new. So I go with it, and it's bloody obvious. I don't know where I'm going. And I went downstairs to get a drink and go to the toilet, and I found myself outside.
It's literally like a mini St Andrews.
Pardon?
It's like a mini St Andrews.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've got to say, though, I accept Lee Bowyer's apology. I thought his interview after the game was very good under the circumstances. And
absolutely.
You know,
and
I've got every faith in him getting us back on track again.
Yeah. I've got to mention the comments about, I mean, there's no man of the match on Saturday. I thought Deeney ran his socks off. But to read some of the comments afterwards on social media was just balmy. I mean, how, the dressing room's divided and the negative influence, and I just couldn't believe what I was reading, to be honest.
Really? Like I said, I've not had a lot of time this weekend, ladies and gents, girls and boys, but my goodness me.
It didn't take long to get escaped there.
Took 2 batterings in a week, right? What we've got to do, regroup, rethink, and get it back together again. Because we've got a squad there that should be ripping this league apart.
I was surprised Scott Hogan didn't get a run at all, to be honest. He's top goal scorer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Duke and Deeney doesn't work, does it?
Okay, it's great having Dukey and Deeney together. But they're both old blokes. Yeah,
Well, they're not old.
Well, they're not quite as you on Friday.
I've got a shirt older than
the senior years of their football career. I really put that diplomatically then, didn't I, that way around?
Yeah.
And, should have mixed it up and had Scotty Hogan on, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Hogan isn't blessed with pace, is he? He is pretty average pace-wise, but it just shows...
Yeah, but then we've got Bella out wide, who's incredible. Chong, who's believable. A
couple of them chances Anike had,
Yeah.
Well, he fluffed a couple, didn't he?
Yeah. If that's Hogan on the end of them, you never know, do you? But who knows? It's all hindsight now. And again, Anike, I think he's got ability. He's big and strong, and he looks okay to me as well. He just needs a bit of confidence with a couple of goals again, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Against Bo the Cat, she makes a weekly appearance on the Tilton Talk Show, named after, of course, the Birmingham City mascot. Look, baby.
Thinking, put me down.
Go away.
Put me down, ugly. Put me down, ugly. I mean, come on. The season's not over. It's not over, is it, Paul?
No. What would we do on Saturday then? Question to the viewers and everybody here. What would we do on Saturday? If you pick the team on Saturday now, what changes would you make, if any, or would you stick with the same 11? I'll start with you, Alan.
You put Alan in?
Yeah. You think goal?
You imagine it, Alan, me. Mr. Rowe with his dressing going on.
I'd go back to a 4-4-2. I'd get our back four back together. Looks like Sanderson will have to play because Roberts is injured.
Is he injured? Is he? Okay.
So I believe. When I say a 4-4-2, it would be a 4-3-1-2.
Yeah.
With Chong having a free rein. Go where you like. I'd have Hogan and Deeney up front.
Yeah.
And I might consider having mind you, Gardner's suspended, so Bella will have to stay in anyway, probably, but to play his normal winger game. I mean, he did all right in this sort of pseudo wing back position, but he was all over the place on Saturday. He didn't know whether it was dinner time or afternoon tea. He really didn't.
I think they all were, weren't they? To be fair.
Yeah. You think that was because of formation, Alan?
I think the opposition had twigged the the space behind. Every time he attacked with the ball, he broke down, and the space behind him was suddenly filled up with blue shirts, and it left Peterson on his own. And the same thing happened on the other side. If Chong lost the ball, again, they all flooded into that sort of inside left channel. Showing your age now. And poor Colin was left, one against two all the time. So I think, we need to get back to basics, and it worked for a while. But you've got to, as you said earlier, you've got to have a plan B, and you've got to be able to do something different.
Definitely.
Open, Alan, Paul, Mark, and Chris. 4-4-2 and the basics has always worked at Birmingham City.
Yeah.
Three at the back has never worked.
Not a football manager, right? But I'm not one for these pretty little Christmas trees. Just get in there, get stuck in. Should be doing it.
Yeah.
All the best.
I was going to say the person. Sorry, Paul. I was going to say the person I'd think about giving a breather to. I know we talk about Dukey up front, but I'd think about Pedersen having a rest, because at times he looks lethargic.
Yeah, he got a bit of a slating, didn't he? On Saturday.
So I'd be tempted to give him a breather.
He did.
I think I don't think that one game on Saturday defines the team. I think overall over how many games we played now? Is it 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Over the 8 games, we've done okay. I think overall, it's above average, isn't it? Just about.
If we finish 11th at the end of the season, it's been a good season. It's all about mid-table.
It's been improved. It's been improvement with that. Look, we can see an improvement. We can. I'm not knocking the manager. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm genuinely not. To concede 7 in 2 games has hurt, right? It's hurt us fans. I'm sure it's hurt the players. But you know something? When we played Fulham, right, and I was right down by the players' entrance, I made sure I stayed and clapped every single player off until the end, until that everybody had disappeared, because I didn't feel like we deserved that kind of meet. And I looked at Harley Dean's face, and he was like, you know what? When you're walking off the pitch and you've just had a big defeat, and your fans are still applauding you, put a smile on your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put a smile. Hey, right, that ain't going to happen next week, guys. We'll be back. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to lift our spirits and lift ourselves. And I mean, we've just been allocated 2,000 tickets for the West Bromwich Albion game.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, is it?
I know, but that's a full allocation, 2,000 tickets.
Yeah.
They'll sell, I don't know, 8 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. I think we've just been allocated nearly 1,900, have we, for QPR? QPR, yeah, I believe, yeah. So,
yeah.
I take it we've only got the upper tier at QPR then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we always get the upper tier there, don't we?
But if they sell out.
Okay, look, there was an incident and it was stupid. Yeah, it was stupid. But you have to punish everybody, do you, for one nutter?
No. But they were both nutters. You got to remember that. They weren't just the one nutter. They were both nutters.
I think, looking at the division, I think Bournemouth and Fulham are going to be fighting out top place between them. I think that'll be the top 2. And then I think it's a free-for-all for the playoffs. I really do. It could be any team that's in there now, all the way down to like Middlesbrough and Preston, and even Millwall as well. Teams like that. There's hardly points between there and 6th. You know what I mean? So, daft as it sounds, if other results go our way and we win on Saturday, we could be 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked, what's our view on the red card?
I think it was a red card, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Bo. Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, you can't argue with that. I think it was a red. Just summed the weekend up, didn't it? Just summed the day up.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as bad a tackle as the opposition made it look. I wouldn't argue with the red card, but as soon as the red card was, the bloke sprung up, trotting about, and come on, son.
I had to stop. I thought there were new rules that came in that you can't approach the referee and you can't do this, you can't do that. And nothing's changed.
No, that's right. That rule's been around for a few years.
I'm not saying it wasn't a red card, right? And if you get a red card, you deserve to have your 3-match ban. That's the end of, right? But for someone like Craig Gardner to do that was silly, to say the least. Yeah, reckless. because you've not let yourself down, you've let the fans down, you've let the team down.
Yeah.
Nigel Mann's raising a good point here. How is the fan that was taken to hospital against Fulham? Has anyone heard?
Oh, yeah.
There was a fan.
No, I've not. But yes, thanks for reminding me about that. I've heard of 2 instances of people being taken very poorly at St Andrews last week, and I thought where I was stood, right, I couldn't see the St John's people or the ambulance guys, and I thought, oh my Lord, what are we doing? Everybody was walking down towards the cop, and I was thinking to myself, there's some kind of protest going to go on or something. But sadly, unfortunately, a gentleman had a very serious heart attack. The medics and the crews and the girls and boys that look after our people week in and week out, we have to bless them, we have to thank them, and we have to be very, very, very grateful that they're there on hand when these awful things happen.
Yeah. I've got to say that Tom from SAS Autos was behind the guy, and he said the medical people were just absolutely incredible. He said they were just fantastic, and he also praised the Blues fans around as well, who were.
Well, you've got to give massive praise to the Birmingham fans for being asked to move, right, and everybody just silently moving along. And then 5 or 6 minutes later, everybody moving back. And when you're as far away as I am, because that was a furthest point that I could possibly be in the stadium, right down by the players' entrance, you don't actually know what's going on, do you? Right? Saw everybody, and I thought, oh God, please don't, and. Wrong of me to perhaps think that. I don't know. Perhaps I should have thought it a bit deeper on one thing or another. But I just hope that the gentleman involved gets well soon, and we rally around him and pick him up, and we get you back to the Blues as soon as possible, buddy.
Yeah. We did get a message, and apparently he's okay at the moment.
Moving back onto the team for Saturday, like people's opinions and stuff. Jason Hughes has said stick to the plan, hanging all the team breeds confusion on the team. So he's basically saying that, we confuse people if we start to change it too much. We might be more of a hindrance than a help, basically.
People are asking what's happened to M.A.REILLY as well, Paul.
Who would be a football manager, eh?
Well, M.A.REILLY simply hasn't been able to get in the 11, has he? Because we've been playing so well with Chong, and you've got other good players on the bench. I think Sanderson now available, and obviously
Jordan Graham hasn't a look in, has he?
Jordan Graham hasn't had a look in, no. Gary Gardner's been on the bench in recent weeks.
Yeah.
Everidge couldn't get back in goal either yet. So we have got a bit of strength in depth. It's not all. I don't think we need to a complete overhaul. But
do you think Etheridge has got a chance now to come back?
He's playing tonight, isn't he, Paul? He's playing for the under-23s as we speak.
Yeah, they're not doing very well, are they?
I think Craig just said down at half time.
How much?
4.
And Etheridge is in goal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not properly fit. I wouldn't have thought. Anyway.
No, I don't know.
Paul, and the only way you're going to get fit is by either training or playing games. So
that's right.
You got to come with it.
Did anybody see the video of Barry Fry singing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Again, can you imagine what the players and the spectators thought of their chairman singing with the Blues fans? Do you think that didn't get up their nose a bit? Goodness me.
Yeah. I think they've got him sussed. I think they know what Barry's like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Adam Walsh. 4-2-3-1. Hogan. Sorry. Yeah. Adam Walsh has said 4-2-3-1. Hogan as the striker with Chung behind him, and Graham and Bella on the wings. Woods and Sunich defensive mids with a back four would be much better.
No mention of Deeney.
No, he's gone with a lone striker in Hogan, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think Deeney probably needs. I mean, I thought he played okay on Saturday, but fitness.
He's not properly fit.
No, he's not match fit, is he?
No. He hasn't. Was that his only second start since January? I read.
Well, it's only his first full start, isn't it?
I guess he only started since January.
Yeah.
I guess the only one he's to play matches, isn't it?
I'm convinced, though. To be honest, Paul, I'm convinced people have thought he'd just walk straight into the team, start scoring goals, and it's not. He's never been a goal poacher. He's not that sort of player.
No,
he wasn't brought to start week in, week out and score goals. He's not that sort of player. He never has been. And he's got to get used to our way of playing as well. I mean, he's been Watford, he's surrounded by quality, but it's a whole new ball game now.
Yeah, we have got quality though. We have got some quality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he had like sort of top quality around, like Premier League quality player.
Yeah, but let's not forget we got Sanchez. We got Sanchez to come back as well. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing.
Yeah, but somebody just mentioned that.
He's a good flair player. He's very creative. So he could make a difference if Chong isn't quite. It's not quite happening for Chong like it wasn't on Saturday. Yeah. He's a good replacement to bring on, isn't he? If we need to take Chong off after an hour or something,
Yeah.
So, absent, ladies and gentlemen, week ladder, and I don't have a bucket.
Well, I can borrow you one, second hand.
No thanks.
Okay. A lot of people are saying that Deeney should be just come off the bench until he's fully fit. I think we have to agree with that, really.
Who should come off the bench, Chris?
Deeney.
Mm-hmm. Talking of that, would you bring him off the bench if we had a penalty? If he was on the bench and we got a penalty to go, say, to 2-2 in the 93rd minute, would you bring him off the bench to take the penalty and make that his first kick like West Ham did?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I would, yeah.
What do you think? So good at penalties, yeah. I think I would. I think I'd bring Darren Carter off the bench.
I think I'd bring Alan off the bench.
I don't think I could kick the ball that far these days. It's an interesting. I would say, yeah. I mean, it's Troy Deeney. He scores penalties for fun, but so did Mark. What's his name for West Ham? He scores penalties for fun, but he didn't. And we all know what happened in the European final. We brought these three blokes up cold, and they didn't do the business. It's something that as watchers you think, well, surely because they have one kick, that's all. He ain't going to worry. They're going to get warmed up or get in the game. He's just going to stick the ball in the net, and he can go off again if he wants.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work like that, does it? I mean, you'd think it should, but as you say, it's football.
It is.
It's a bit like a batsman, isn't it, in cricket? If you're brought on for one ball and you got to hit a six to win the match or something, and you got one ball to do it, you want to get your eye in first. Don't you? Got to get your eye in a bit first.
I did read an article about Brucey when we had our penalty shootout in the playoff final, and he instructed his players to think only of their technique, right? Basic stuff, foot alongside the ball, follow through, blah, blah, blah. It's like you would do to an 11-year-old. Mm-hmm. And he got them all thinking like that. And, okay, we won that one. That's what you have to do. You have to go back to back, not think about the situation of the game or whether you're going to you just think about your technique. And Paul Devlin was very good at that. That's how he took penalties. Follow through, smash it in the top right-hand side or the left-hand side, whichever he fancied, and you ain't going to stop them. No. But if you start thinking,
overthinking,
looking at a huge goalkeeper, keepers.
Definitely.
I agree.
And I think with Dev telling me that he had everyone practicing, didn't he? For after we knew we were in the playoff final, I think we were even practicing penalties before Millwall, weren't we, to be fair?
Yeah.
They were doing it every single day in training, weren't they? And they were walking up from the halfway line and everything.
That's right,
Yeah. Because that walk is a long walk, isn't it? I can imagine, It must be in front of all them people as well, and all them people watching at home. The pressure must be incredible.
Mm-hmm. It's a funny old game, as Jimmy Greaves said.
Oh, legend.
Rest in peace, Poor old Jimmy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That was a sad one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What a striker. What a striker.
Reeves and Boise.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Boise as well, yeah.
The greatest ever England striker.
Paul?
Yes, Nick?
You remind me of a football player.
Really? I'll take that as a compliment.
I'm looking into
Say that again,
Nick.
Nick.
Hey, there he is.
What was that?
We didn't hear that, Nick.
I missed the punchline.
You don't look at the camera when you talk.
Wayne Rooney.
No, because he's looking at the comments on another screen, aren't you? Is that right, Paul? Yeah.
Sometimes, but sometimes
he's a professional.
Am I looking at
Oh,
you?
actually, no, go on. Look away.
That's better.
Paul, I haven't got access to the comments again this week, mate. So read out as many as you can.
Okay.
Many questions, please, if you want.
Can I just say I've got an update on the lad that was taken ill in the Tilton Road? Okay. Latest update from Brett Harrison, who is the fan's grandson from the Tilton. He's awake now. They're going to move him to a ward at some point. Maybe tonight, tomorrow. He's been answering questions and ate well. So all's looking good. The family have been overwhelmed with the support they've received and would like to thank everyone who has helped directly and by moving to help get him away so quick. There we go.
Amazing.
News.
Superb.
Brilliant.
And keep your result, friend, and get yourself back down the Blues as soon as you can, mate. But you know what? Put you first.
Definitely.
That's a rule.
Definitely.
Yeah. Michael Woods don't need to warm up. Take a penalty. It's all in the mind. When we're talking about taking penalties.
Yeah. I agree.
Is it all in the mind? Right, okay, Paul, picture yourself this, and you, Mark, and you, Alan, and you, Chris, right, okay? You have just put the ball on the spot, 12 yards out, and you have that Darren Carter responsibility. How are you going to feel? Mate, I know what I'll be doing. Alan talked about following through earlier. I'm sure I'll do it.
Yeah. I don't think he was talking about soiling yourself.
I don't quite.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that, Nick, because I took a penalty when I was about 14 in a Junior League Cup final, and like I say,
You wet yourself.
yeah.
Worse.
I used to take.
I scored it though.
You scored it, Mark.
I used to score it.
I used to take them when I was a bit younger and fitter. When I was like going back 20 years with my Sunday team, and you just decide where you're going to go, and you don't change your mind and hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah,
That's it.
Here we go. This is a great statistic. Anyway, Jimmy Greaves, 44 goals in 57 appearances for England. No penalties. Wow. No penalties.
Just wow.
Nobody will ever do that. I don't think
No one will ever beat that. And that's from Chris Roth. Cheers, Chris.
He had his total career was like 640 games, and he scored 520 goals.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
I mean
that's Aldo's level, isn't it, more or less?
Yeah. When everybody forgets he went to Milan. He played 13 games for Milan, scored 9 goals, and in football at the time, if the team won 1-0, it was a goal fest, and he got 9 in 13, and they won the league.
Yeah, and also he was in that 1966 England squad, and it's only recently he's been given a medal.
Yeah, medal.
Yeah,
an unbelievable career, an unbelievable goal scoring record, an unbelievable person, and him and Saints and Greaves when they were on TV. Proper, as they were. He's going to be sadly missed across the world of football, without a doubt. And we must also say best wishes to Pele, who's had some surgery this week. Get well soon, buddy, and I hope you're listening.
He's down the pub. He's down the pub right now, or
what?
is it?
We have listeners in Warrington.
Yeah, he's down Linda Edson.
You have to remember as well, when Jimmy Greaves played, what the pitches were like as well compared to now. So, I mean, how many goals would he score on these pitches today?
Exactly. Yeah.
And he had a soft spot for Blues, didn't he?
He did, yeah, apparently. Yeah. I know. Saints and Greaves, yeah.
What was it,
Let's just say his soft spot was he didn't like Villa.
And I think he knew that Gary Newbond wasn't Birmingham's favourite person.
We all knew that.
And Jimmy Greaves played on that. We have to say, Gary, Birmingham deserve the points.
It's like he's in the room. He's in the room.
I feel like Dave Edgar.
He's risen from the dead.
He was a big favourite of mine as a kid. Big favourite.
All the anecdotes they used to come out with and that. It was just pure brilliance, wasn't it?
And you could tell it was genuine as well.
Quality TV.
Yeah. It was genuine banter as well. You could see that Saint was he was ready to go, wasn't he? He had to hold it in half the time. He was ready to go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and obviously not football related, but it was sad to lose Boise out of Only Fools and Horses.
Oh,
as well,
God, yeah.
I mean, that again, that's another, a bit like Greasy's 44 goals in 57 games. That's another sitcom that'll never be beaten.
No. Delboy, Trigger, Rodney, Marlene.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Sad, isn't it? Sad.
Yeah, I don't to watch the repeats because I've watched them, quite religiously as a youngster. The repeats don't have that same effect on you. Because when you watched them, it was coming at you, and you never knew what then people were going to do next. Rodney and Delboy and like, I know it's not football, but like we've lost an absolute gem this week in that bloke.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, my daughter, I've introduced my daughter to Only Fools and Horses, and she's watched a couple of them. A couple of the best ones with the chandelier and Batman and Robin, and she's like,
it was off the scale, mate. Who wrote? He did an Oscar for that, surely. And the one where he leant against the bar. Simple, simple, and it probably happens up and down the country every week, right? But to do it on TV on a show like that, happy days, mate. I'm
going to an Only Fools party as well on Saturday. By coincidence, yeah.
You've got to go as granddad.
My daughter's going as Uncle Albert eats. She's got it spot on.
I could do Uncle Albert.
You could actually, yeah. During the war. Pardon?
I'm going to name drop now.
I'm copying out a little bit. I've got some T-shirts. Do you remember Mike's T-shirts with Nag's Head, Peckham?
Oh yeah.
I got some of those.
Mike always reminded me of Robbo a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hope he's not listening.
I'll tell him you said that, Mark.
Nah,
Seriously, with a black wig and a little moustache, you could be Boise, couldn't you?
Chris.
Look at me.
So we've got Uncle Albert, we've got Boise. I think Mark, you've got to be, I don't know. Right, who's Mark going to be?
Oh, no, he could be Mickey Pearce.
Oh, no.
Yes, Mickey.
Gotta be.
I'm going to name drop now. You know the lady that played Rodney's wife?
Yeah, Cassandra.
Cassandra. I played snooker against her husband a fortnight ago. How about that?
I'm going to come and kiss your feet.
Wow. Okay. Obviously, that's going to pose me the next question. Did you win or did you lose?
No. Her husband he's an actor as well. He's a very, very good snooker player, and he gave me 21 start and beat me.
Let us down.
I have to pay credit to anybody who admits they're a loser.
I took pride in the fact that I gave him a game, to be honest. I did get quite close.
What I like about it, Alan, is people like that who aren't so far up their own backsides. I'll have a game of snooker with you.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it was competition.
At the end of the day, they're all humans.
Yeah.
And this is why I said about the race card earlier. Would you be that prejudiced and that judgmental if the day that you have the heart attack and a man of a different race from you revives you so you can go and see your grandchildren again?
Oh, yeah.
Leave that there.
Yeah. I think it's the same with heart transplants, isn't it? You don't know where it's come from.
Right, Paul, next game up. Come on.
Preston up.
Yeah.
Saturday.
What do we think?
2-1 Blues.
2-1 Blues.
We've got
Paul,
to back.
We've got to what?
We've got to bounce back and show our fans that, okay, those two, we'll write them off, but they ain't happening again.
No.
No.
I'm going to go for 2-1.
Yeah, I just said that as well, 2-1. Yeah. I mean, Preston are on a good run, aren't they, as well?
They're no mugs, Preston. They're a funny team, Preston. They're hot and cold, aren't they?
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get with them.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll back us to bounce back as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a great one for omens and runs. And we used to beat Preston for a pastime. In the last 3 or 4 years, they've come here and done us. We won there, but they've won here. But that's true. That was true of Derby as well. So I'll go 2-0.
2-0 Blues. I'll take a 93rd minute.
Yeah, I'll go for a win. 1-0.
1-0.
1-0.
Good point coming in from Craig. Can
I ask, right, when we're playing at home, right, and I've heard this at every single game I've been to, even though it's only 2, right, is this a library? This is St Andrews, guys. Huh? St Andrews. This is a place, this is a fortress where Sir Alex Ferguson was frightened to come back in the day, right? And another thing, even if we are losing, can you please stay to the end, right? Stay till the end, because it's a long, long road.
I think times are different now, Nick. I don't think people do.
I can't hear Chris, sorry.
I don't think people do anymore. I think that's not everybody, but I think, and regarding the library chance, I think that's at every ground now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we go away. You know, if we went to Old Trafford next week, we'd make more noise than them, and we'd be singing that same song, wouldn't we? They all do it. I think it's a great wind-up song. Unfortunately, it doesn't work at St Andrews.
What were the thoughts on the stadium update the other day? Because it doesn't help, does it, that it's not fully open yet?
No.
Gonna rumble on for weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Possibly January, maybe.
Well, the bottom half won't be open for a long time, which I don't understand, because there's nothing under there but earth. That's all below street level.
But I think isn't that the problem though? The concrete underneath it.
It must be. Yeah.
I think that's.
Yeah, it wouldn't take this long to remove the asbestos, but
no.
The building work underneath it that needs to be done.
I think it's more a foundation problem than anything structural.
I was under the impression that obviously myself and other season ticket holders that have paid to be in the car were moved to the Gil-Merrick, and that was going to be our seats until our proper seats became available that we got in the Gil-Merrick.
Oh, right.
But we've just had our tickets through for Preston, and it's a completely different seat again.
Where are you Preston for?
So I'm in block 4 now instead of block 5. It's not much different, don't get me wrong, but
no.
But it's like, it's different sort of thing. I'm just starting to get on with the bloke next to me again, and now I've got to move again.
You people, listen to this, right? Answer me this, right? Okay, I think our crowd, was it 12,000 last game at Fulham?
Yeah.
12,000. Why?
Yeah.
Why have we got empty seats? Huh?
With
a ground that's only half.
Yeah. What could have been the crowd? Was it 15,600 or something like that? 15.
Yeah, something like that. That would be maximum,
Where were they?
We have to have empty seats between the two sets of fans.
Yeah.
And Fulham only brought 300.
The front of Gil-Merrick, right? And the front of the main stand, there's empty seats on both occasions I've been there.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yep.
I think, like Paul said the other week, that some people don't want to sit. I
can understand that.
You've got a centre stand in the Cop, and then somebody sticks you a seat in row 2 in the Gil-Merrick stand. You're not going to be very happy, are you?
No.
I think a lot of people are sticking to the principles, aren't they? They say no, we're not going till
Yeah, I can understand that in some way, that you've paid for a product and you're not getting that product that you've paid for. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If they come out and just said, apologised for any inconvenience, and then said, when this is all over, we will reimburse the difference in cost from the seat you've paid for to where you're sitting, or something like that, or we'll take it off your season ticket next season, or something like that if you renew, just something that that's going to sort of make the fans feel like, they're valued, if you like, a bit more.
Or how about this for an even better suggestion? I'm not saying your suggestion isn't good. It's right up there. What about a weekly update as to exactly what's going on underneath that stadium, right? What part have they done? What part have they finished? What part have they got? And what the hell is wrong with it? 20 years old.
Yeah, you can say
20
that.
years old. Already been shut down.
Why can't the building company say that? Why can't the building company?
I've said that on here before, haven't I? That, they need to get the building company involved with their drawings, or if they need to do like a video of the progress or something like that, just keep people up to date properly, then Because I don't think a lot of people don't even know what the actual problem is, do they? They've never really actually.
No.
We can only speculate. You know.
I mean, really, do we think it'll be open by the end of the season? I know it's a bit dramatic, but the way it rumbles on.
My answer to that, and I'm going to be dead straight with you, I don't think it will be open all season, mate. I promise.
The whole season, Nick, yeah.
I think
Ultimately, we don't know, do we?
I think I've just seen a comment saying that it should be done by May.
Paul, is that we do need to know. We're fans, we're supporters, right? And we pay our money and we go to that football club and we ought to be informed of the progress or of the delays, irrespective of what. Because you know what? Project management is an awful thing. I've got a practitioner's degree in project management, actually. Perhaps they need me. I
wouldn't go.
Dig faster.
Got a good point coming in from Craig. What's people's thoughts on the Derby situation? We think our owners are bad, but Derby's never told their manager. And he found out via Sky. So Wayne Rooney actually found out that Derby were going into administration on Sky Sports.
Oh, my God.
I was going to come on to that in a minute, right? I was sitting here last Friday and I was kind of getting the vibes from some of the Derby fans that something was going on, yeah? Something was going on. And I thought to myself, you know what? I reckon they're going to announce administration. I thought, I'm going to write this on Facebook. And I thought, no, don't. You don't want to be made to look forward. But I could have been the first to break the news. However, Derby have announced administration. Now, as soon as the administrators have put the documentation into the EFL, that's an automatic 12-point deduction, right? No matter what. And they could be facing another 9-point deduction from financial fair play. That could be 21 points deducted, which will spell disaster for a football club who has got, again, an amazing history, a brilliant stadium, sat there up there at Pride Park, great infrastructure. Could you say a great manager? No, actually, I couldn't, because I don't think he is a great manager. But there's a football team and Chris and Alan will remember this. Like when we were kids, like man, the players that they had, and you know, it's going to be once again the fans, and I feel sorry for Derby fans genuinely. I know they laughed at us when we were going through our trials and tribulations, but I feel sorry for the old man in his flat cap who's in his latter years and goes to watch his football club, and now it's probably going to be destroyed, and it will be years before they get back to normal, if they do.
Yeah.
That could free fall now to League Two, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a bolt.
Yeah. I mean, look at some of the look at some of the old league sides that are in non-league. Your Wrexham, your Notts County. Could easily happen to them.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them not long ago, doing well.
Look at Bolton, you look at Derby now, it's just, I don't know, something has to change, doesn't it, with regards to people that aren't fit and proper to run football clubs, taking over football clubs?
Absolutely. Yeah. Why is it, right? The death nail is handed out to championship clubs left, right and centre, and yet Manchester City can go and spend £100 million on a player? Well, I wouldn't call him a player, right? On a dive. Yeah. Where's the Olympic champion diver? What was his name?
Tom Daly.
Yeah, you can tell we all watch the Olympics.
That's what about him.
Bloke out minder.
We got him for £4.75 and 2 Mars bars.
Yeah, it's not great seeing clubs, going into an oblivion. It's not good at all.
No. As Nigel says,
Bury. I mean,
Bury. Yeah.
Traditional club like that. It's not fair.
We had a Bury fan join us on the Tilton Talk a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Welcome, and I hope and pray your beautiful football club is put back into your domain as soon as possible, because I don't know what I would do with my life if anybody took Birmingham City away from me. I ain't got a clue. Really don't know.
We touched upon this last week, and I'll say it again. If Blues ever went under, I'd lose interest in football.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Last week, I've got no second team.
It's in your blood, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got no second team, no Scottish team. That's it. It's just Blue.
Second.
Don't talk to us about second teams.
Birmingham City Women is my second team, right? Don't talk to me about having a Scottish favourite team or a Spanish favourite team. I went to Barcelona. I went to the Nou Camp, right? I wish I'd have videoed it, and I sang "Keep Right On" to the end of the road on my own in the Nou Camp, right? There were probably more visitors there on the day than we at match days, right? And there's this really, really, really fit wench handing the tickets out, pay about 12 quid to go and have a little tour. And they said, don't sit in the manager's seat.
Of course you
told me what not to do, right? And she said to me, she says, you like Barcelona? I said, no. Oh. I said, why are you here then? I said, because it's here.
Yeah.
I said, mate. I said, I don't like Barcelona that much. I couldn't give monkeys about Barcelona. I said, I've only come to have a look at your museum, which was actually bigger than our stadium.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've been there as well.
Have you been, Paul?
Yeah.
I've seen them.
You know what? An incredible stadium, but some of the views in some of the seats are absolutely abysmal.
Can imagine.
You think the main stand, right? Somebody take this post out of Facebook, right? You get about that much just like viewing, literally, right? And like the roof is there, and you can just see the pitch. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm with Daniel Rouhani. My second team is Solihull Moors. I think that's who I'd go and watch as well, to be honest. They're only up the road from me.
Yeah. Can you imagine 24,000 of us turning up there?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch them at Dover tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's not too far, is it?
No.
Is that a league game or FA Cup, Alan?
It's the league game that was cancelled on day one because of the COVID business.
Oh, okay.
So that they're both a game behind. I've been to that fixture 2 or 3 times. It's up on the side of a hill, and Solihull have always done well. That they won 2 and drawn 1. But again, talking about football clubs going, Dover disappeared last year. They didn't play any games. They couldn't play any games. Unfortunately for them, there wasn't any relegation, and they've come back and they're playing. They're not doing very well, but it's like I was going to say. You mentioned Bolton earlier. Look how much desperate trouble they were in, but they're on the way back. And
which is good. Yeah.
Commentary.
Who does that? It's the fans. The people who care will bring it back. It might take years, but they will always bring it back because people care. People care about Bolton Wanderers. People care about Birmingham City. People care about Coventry when they went plonk.
What a job he's done, Robbins. Yeah.
Yeah. What about if you go back, what decade it was? The Wolves. They were in desperate trouble.
Yeah.
Successive seasons, wasn't it?
Getting beat by conference second division teams in the cup and all this sort of thing, but they came back.
Yeah.
They got to the auto windscreen or whatever the equivalent was.
Yeah, 95.
80,000 there.
Yeah.
And they was only getting 4 at home.
Yeah. Simon Andrews is welcome to Simon Andrews.
We were 3 with the Wigan Grass Bank when it was peeing down the rain that night. We've won the Carling Cup. We've been in the Premier League. We've been in Europe. And now we're having one of them slumps again.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the farce that is VAR, them across the road from us would be in the same position.
Yeah, it's true. Paul, go ahead.
I was just going to say welcome to the show to Simon Andrews, the club's coach driver. He just said he's with Solihull Moors tomorrow at Dover as well. So he's down there as well. And Craig's asked us to mention as well the Trevor Francis evening at the Boylesports and Social Club on Saturday the 16th of October.
Yes.
Standard tickets are £25 and VIP, including a meet and greet, are £35 a ticket as well. And that's on Saturday the 16th of October. Trevor Francis with Tom Ross, I presume.
Yeah, Tom's comparing it. Yeah,
that'll be good as well.
Good night.
Very good. Here's a good one from Nick Fenton. He says, EFL compounding the problems of struggling clubs. Yet if you get relegated from the Prem, you get rewarded with parachute payments.
Oh, no.
You're swimming in
so
money.
I've never known a job where you get paid for doing a bad job. I said this last week, didn't I? And if you get sacked as a manager, you get like compensation of, like, I think Mourinho got something like 5 or 6 million, didn't he? Off the top.
Crazy money.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, look, football's going through a bad time at the minute, and the bubble has to burst. I've been saying this for 5 or 6 years. The bubble has to burst. Is it about to, do you think?
No,
No.
I don't think it'll burst. No, it'll just. I think
we have this every year, don't we?
it'll deteriorate, and but it'll never burst. There'll always be some sort of
Okay.
game or structure.
I just worry that the difference between the Championship and the Premiership is so great. I mean, Norwich, well, they were a wonderful team down there. They got beat 3-1 at home by Watford.
I know
Watford came up with them, but they've played. I was talking to a Norwich supporter yesterday, and he said we've played 6, lost 5. And I said, you're in a different league now, and he's so disappointed. And I said, well, you can't expect any better. Unfortunately, that's the situation. And Norwich will go up and down for about another 3 or 4 years, and then they'll slip out, and they won't be able to get back. And they'll.
But what do you think the likes of Burnley and Brighton are doing differently than that? Because they haven't spent millions and millions, have they? They've just sort of like, managed to survive and finish like mid-table upwards.
Well, as I tell my Brighton fans down here, you've got an ex-Birmingham manager, so that helps.
Yeah.
As for Burnley, they've just, again, good management. It's good management.
Yeah.
Dyche's a good manager, and so is the Brighton manager.
Yeah.
And they work within the confines of what they've got. I mean, it's very expensive to go and see Brighton in the Premiership. You weren't going to ticket under 40, 45 quid.
No.
You won't get one for under 40 quid, will you?
But Brighton,
no, I've just seen the figure of £39 for a QPR.
I paid 36 for my son, and I paid 26 for me.
Oh well, that's still crazy money, isn't it?
Is that with your bus pass?
That's with my bus pass, yeah.
Brutal.
Nigel Mann says, "Could we survive in the Premier League?" That's if of course we got promoted. Could we survive?
At the moment, no. We'd be down like a stone. We'd last the season, and it wouldn't be worth it.
You never know. That's all I'm going to say. You just never know. Did we all think when we got promoted 20 years ago, nearly, that we'd finish, what was we, 13th in the first season?
Yeah, 13th.
And the Premier, you can't tell me. I don't think the Premier League now is that much better than what it was back then. I mean, when you look at the teams that were in it and the players with M.A.REILLY and Bergkamp and Van Nistelrooy and Beckham and all these stars that came to St Andrews. If we went up now, there'd be a lot of stars. Don't get me wrong, but would there be any better than what came down back there?
Yeah, good point.
That's Norwich.
Yeah.
Would let's just say the team that we've got now, which of those would flourish in the Premiership?
Well, you get more time. Yeah, you get more time on the ball, don't you, in the Premier League? It's a lot quicker than the Championship, and it's I don't know. It's hard to say.
Colin?
I think Colin would. I think possibly Sunich could adapt to Premier League as well.
Yeah, lower Prem. Yeah.
Dini?
And I think
Bella?
I think Bella could do a job in the Prem.
Bella.
Yeah.
Troy, it'd probably suit Troy as well more than the Championship.
Well, it's just well, if we had Chong, I wouldn't have a problem with Chong playing in the Prem. No, not at all. Sanchez as well, potentially as well.
Get well soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have a player of Kenny Cunningham's class?
No.
Do we have a player of Mikel Forsell's class? Do we have a player of Matty Upson's class?
No. You're not gonna sign players like that, Alan, when you're in the Championship. Though.
I know that. But that's what we needed to keep us up. And make it. We had a bit of a. Obviously, after we'd been in there 4 or 5 years, we started to get much better players. But the season we went up, we signed Savage, didn't we? That made a massive difference.
Yeah.
Who else did we get then? Kenny Cunningham.
Jamie Clapham.
Jamie Clapham. And, of course, Dugarry came along.
Dugarry. But a lot of
the side that actually came up, Jeff Horsfield, never really cut it in the top level, did he? Was replaced by Forsell. Stern John never quite cut it, did he? Darren Pearce did okay.
Yeah. Devlin, did okay.
Dev did okay. Yeah.
Lazaridis.
Lazaridis, yes.
Yeah.
He was probably the one that made the transition the best.
Definitely.
He was as good in the Premiership as he was in the Championship.
Probably Brian Hughes as well. Brian
Hughes did okay.
Damien Johnson.
But we haven't got any of those at the moment.
No, we haven't got that sort of, dare I say, fighting spirit like we had back then.
Or class.
Then having said that, right? When we were in the Premier League last time, we didn't have a Trevor Francis, we didn't have a Joe Gallagher, we didn't have a Gary Peck, we didn't have, some of the players that we remember from the 70s.
Yeah, of course.
Would have probably cut it, big time.
Okay, quick question then. Do we think we'll be in the Premier League within 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Right, ownership. No, I've changed my mind.
It's hard to say, isn't it, Mark? It's difficult to say. It's so unpredictable, this league. Would I be? If you're asking me if I'd be surprised if we're in the Premier League in the next 5 years, the answer's no, I wouldn't. Do I think we will be? I think we can be, but will we be? I don't know. That's obviously, don't know.
Think about it though, Paul, right? Liverpool coming to St Andrews, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, them up the road, who are there by cheating, by the way. Cheating. I must always emphasise.
Let it go.
That was an issue with goal line technology, wasn't it, with Hawkeye?
I just happened to turn it off when it suits me.
I know, yeah.
They're in the toilet.
Right, I'm going to ask a question. Would you prefer Premier League or Championship? There you go. It's going to go on for 1 minute. Paul, can you monitor it?
So no
Premier League.
No brainer. No brainer.
Yeah.
Waiting 3 weeks game.
Yeah.
You have 3 in a week.
I'd say Premier League, but I'd miss the Championship.
Yeah. I mean, if we could, I just think, we've never gone down out the Premier League at a whimper, have we, like some other clubs? So I think whenever we've gone up there, we've always made a good account of ourselves, even when we have got relegated. So, and I know I'm going back in the past there, but there's no reason why we couldn't do that again and survive.
Yeah.
I mean, Huddersfield survived up there for a season when they went, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So, Bournemouth.
So, Paul, got the chat box. What's the consensus of opinion? Premier League or Championship?
Was it Derby that had that horrendous season?
Derby, yeah, under Paul Jewell, yeah.
Simon said Championship. Michael Woods has said Championship. Steve Portman said Championship.
That's my case.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Championship. Steve Portman, Prem financially, Championship for the joys and sorrows.
Bless you, Steve. And thanks for my badge, my friend.
This is a good shout from Michael Woods, actually. The Premier League is about the money. The Championship is about the football.
Yeah, just saw that. That's a good... That's true, isn't it? Yeah.
It's probably the best shout of the night so far, mate.
Yeah. Craig's asking me as well to shout out the fans team. So he asked the fans did need to pick their 11. So it was selected by the fans, the 11 from was it based from it was based from the guest players that they picked in their 1 to 11s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting, that was.
Yeah. Have you got it there, Chris?
I haven't got it there. No, I haven't got it here. No. Okay. But so maybe we'll get that up for next week.
I've got it here. So Francis and Forsell were up front. We had Stan on the left, Bellingham and Ferguson in the middle. With Lee Bowyer down the right. Well, what we give for this team now. And then Cunningham at the back with... I can't see who's at the back with Cunningham, sorry. Because of my iPad blocking the screen. Granger left back, Steve Clark right back, Foster in goal. And I think it was Scott Dan with Kenny Cunningham, sorry. Scott Dan and Kenny Cunningham at the back. For me, that'd be Matthew. I'd pick Matthew Upson personally, but that was the... I think that was the votes. Yeah.
Okay, so that was chosen by the fans.
Guess this week. Tell us all about you. What have you been doing through your life? How come you became a Birmingham City fan? And what are your aspirations?
Talking about me.
Has he got?
Nick, sorry, we missed most of that, Nick.
Alan.
Yes.
Hello.
What you been? how you became a Birmingham City fan, what was your first game, etc., and what your aspirations are for the next few years.
Just before that, Alan, you're now writing a blog for us as well, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
And edition 1 is out now. So get along to tiltontalk.com and check it out.
And what you said towards the end of that, Alan, was absolutely bang on. You said something about Peterborough's form and our form. And you said, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Well, exactly. I got that spot on, didn't I? I was watching the replay, and the commentator started by saying that Peterborough have not won at home this season, and Birmingham haven't lost away.
Yeah.
You know,
Kiss of death.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right then, come on, Alan, tell us all about you.
Well, 1959.
That's enough.
The friendly against Valencia. Second game was Fairs Cup final against Barcelona. Sat on my dad's shoulder in the pouring rain.
Superb.
Never seen a pitch like it before or since. An absolute wash. We flooded it to give us a bit of chance, and then it rained for the 24 hours before the kickoff. So we played in the puddle, basically.
And that was under the lights, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that old. I didn't go there before the lights were built. Come on.
No, I mean it was on the night time. There were gas lights, weren't they?
Yeah. The first league game was Birmingham 3, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Hey!
In the previous three home games against the Albion, we'd lost 7-1, 6-3 and 5-2 at home. And we'd beaten them for the first time for about 10 years. And it was a right walloping. It really was. And I thought, this is the business. You know, I bet it's like this all the time. Little did I know.
Yeah. It does. That club does read like a bit of a soap story, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I've actually, by some coincidence, I've got the theme tune to. Here we go.
So what did you do for work, Alan, when you were younger? A lot younger.
I was an industrial engineer. I was time and motion man, basically.
You're an industrial engineer. St Andrews is falling to pieces. But you haven't
No.
And you sat there and not said anything.
Oh,
All I can do is tell you how long it should take.
He ain't got his digger.
The cop as well. He sits in the cop and all day, well.
nearly wet myself away.
Are they going to compensate me for sitting on that condemned seat for 20 years?
Are they going to compensate me for standing at the back of the cop, like with 45 gallons of urine walking over my feet back in the 70s?
Yeah.
Most of it mine.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, that hut, eh? Oh, crikey.
Who's
So there you go.
Alan, who's your favourite manager, Alan, and why?
Favourite manager, I've got to say McLeish, because he brought more success and more professionalism and the best players we've ever had. I'll never forgive him for what he did.
No.
I was going to name.
Judas.
I was trying to get my grandchildren named after him.
Really?
I was that big, and I'm so glad he didn't.
I would not genuinely want to grow up being called McLeish Watton.
Well, I've got two granddaughters, so it probably wouldn't be the best now.
I'm with you though. I think he did bring some good times to the Blues, didn't he? Obviously, highest ever Premier League finish. Obviously, won the League Cup.
Yeah.
So it was. He did, and he obviously put a great side together as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
His biggest mistake was crossing that A38.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He'd still be revered as a god at Andrews today had he have not crossed the A38.
Yeah.
as I've heard before, I just don't think he understood.
A statue placed for him.
I just don't think he understood, Nick.
No.
I don't think he understood.
No, it was work to him, wasn't it? It was business at the day, and yeah. But I'll always love him for giving us that day.
Horrible decision. horrible thing to do to us after winning a cup final with us.
Yeah.
And then when he went to Forest and they came to St Andrews, I've never heard 90 minutes of dogs abuse raged at one person in all my life. Yeah. And the following day, he was sacked from there.
I think the other thing, in all honesty, had he stayed with us, we'd have come straight back because he knew what to do. He did it once. He could, he'd already signed. He signed a couple of players before he went, and those two players never saw him. Centre forward and the winger.
Rooney. He signed Martin Rooney, didn't he?
He did sign Rooney. No, the other one. Marlon King. And the Scottish winger, Chris Burke, who he'd worked with at Rangers. And we were set to go and have a run in Europe with an experienced European manager. And then it just the mat was just pulled from under our feet. We were lucky to get Chris Hughton at the time, but he left us and he's done nothing since. Nothing. He's got the sack from Forest.
Yeah. When you look at maybe McLeish saw the writing on the wall though as well. When you look at what happened obviously in the few years after that, with Lee Clark and us obviously falling. Well, we were lucky not to get relegated, weren't we, to League One, and obviously about survived. And I don't know. I guess if you weren't a Blues fan and you were just a business person and you was at work and it was a work decision, which it was for him, I'd say probably would have made the same decision, wouldn't we?
He could have gone to Fulham.
Yeah,
he could have gone to Fulham, and if he'd had any sense, he'd have gone to Fulham.
He could have gone anywhere but there, really.
That's right.
He would have been.
He had options. Yeah, he had options.
He was our last A-grade manager. Top line, Scotland manager. His football career was, top draw. And then, with no disrespect to the Lee Clarks and the various other people,
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce is a grade A. The rest of them have been B and C grade merchants, haven't they?
Definitely.
Lee Bawyer's still in the B grade until he proves otherwise. I'm not blaming Alex McLeish for the decline, but it didn't help any.
Well, our club is the biggest success story for Alex McLeish and Steve Bruce as managers. When they're both retired and they look back on their careers, their most successful times and their best times as managers was at our club. Was with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
good point.
Surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, we're into the last 15 minutes of the show. 15 minutes of the show, ladies and gents. And we do a little bit of word association right now. And this week's theme is anything to do with Disney characters or Disney itself and football. Anything to do with Disney and football. Oh, there you go. Make me laugh. Paul, can you read them through?
Well, you're asking me to name one, then I'm struggling.
It was.
I thought you was going to ask me to name one, then I'm struggling.
I thought it was your idea.
I never thought I'd have to do one myself.
We struggle this week, but listen, those guys out there, they've got brains, mate. They've got brains more than you.
They always corkers.
Yeah. Cinderella.
Oh, yeah.
Good
one.
Mickey Rooney. Pogba Hunties.
What was that one?
Pogba Hunties.
Pogba Hunt.
I like that one.
I don't. Some of these I don't know because I'm not a big Disney fan. So okay.
Fabrice Moana, I like that. That's good.
Oh, what about Troy Story?
Oh, well done.
That's
the best one you've ever done. Because most of them have been rubbish.
I want names and credits.
Yeah. Except most of the ones you've done have been rubbish. That ain't too bad, that one.
Credit that man for Troy Story. That was brilliant. Who was it?
That was Mark.
That's me.
Mark.
That was awful.
It was awful.
I can't even say this. Dele Alli did. As in Aladdin, and it Dele Aladdin.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Deadpool. Wayne Rooney Shrek.
Shrek's not Disney. Who said that?
Value and the Beast.
Shrek's DreamWorks, isn't it? Not Disney.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's DreamWorks, that is.
I like this one. Curtis Woodyhouse.
Brilliant. That's Adam again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and you thought you couldn't think of any?
I love this one from Michael Woods, The Lady and the Camp.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, Nick Scott says
I'll go for it. You ready?
Go on.
Cruella Devlin.
Troy Story from Simon and David White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Which one was that one?
Jason Hughes, David White and the Seven Dwarfs. Remember the old Man City striker?
Yeah.
I like that.
Very good.
Oh dear.
Could have gone with Chris White.
Oh yeah, Chris White. Yeah.
Chris White and the Seven Drawers.
Oh, now that's Alan showed a little bit of intelligence there, ladies and gentlemen.
Pete Taylor says Lion Marlon King.
I'll go for another one. You ready?
We can't say that one.
Cinderella.
What?
Cinderella.
Oh, right, okay. God, that was a big build-up. Huge build-up for nothing.
All the best, mate. All the best.
Peter Pan. Who? Peter Pan. Who?
Oh, yeah.
Whose is that one?
Adam Wilkes.
Adam Wilkes.
Too much time on your hands, mate. Too much time on your hands.
That's it.
What about
See us, Alan, in 4 years' time, 4 or 5 years' time? Where do you see us?
Pardon?
I'm going to be over there.
Where do you see us in maybe 3, 4, 5 years' time?
Or maybe there. I might be over there.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't catch that again.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Where do you see our football club in, say, 3, 4, 5 years' time?
In a better place than we are now.
Do you think we'll get rid of our current owners?
I think that's. I always have this dream of, we are a big club, right? Or were a big club. Why didn't somebody come along with some real cash after the Sullivans and Goals left? And
well, they did get Barber.
Yeah, well, he wasn't real, was he? I'm not talking about hairdressers. I'm talking about somebody who owns a country.
Yeah, which is basically what you need these days.
I can make this into a Man City. I can make this into a Manchester United. And it won't cost me. I can buy it for next to nothing. Throw some money at it, and I can make it. Into whatever I want to do.
Of course.
Why did these people choose? I mean, the time Manchester City were taken over by these people, they were no better position than we were.
Yeah.
Why did they choose them and not us?
Yeah.
They just lost 8-1, haven't they? They just lost 8-1 at Middlesbrough.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The only problem being now is to buy a football club, it costs you a lot more money.
It would to buy a Manchester City.
Nobody's queuing up to buy Blues. And I'm pretty sure if somebody came along, they would sell. They've always said. I just don't.
Would you think somebody, if it got 40 million, would they take it, this lot?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think they would.
I don't think they would.
I think they'd offload it for 40
All
million.
right, okay. I don't know. I can't remember. Right, guys. What did they buy it for?
80
million.
Yeah.
The Carson Young bid. Carson Young paid 80, yeah.
We don't know.
A barber from China, right, who, we should all trust, shouldn't we? Bought it for £82 million.
Yeah,
now,
we paid over the odds.
Young went across the A38 and tried to buy that football club up there. If it hadn't been from the prudence of one Doug Ellis, that takeover may well have happened. It didn't, because he got top investigators to go and find out about Mr. Young.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got one. I've got a Disney
Well, I
one.
don't get one.
Hercules.
Oh yes,
Another big build up for nothing.
Love it. What I don't is why that wasn't played through the Football League, the EFL, the Premier League, wherever. And how did that person ever manage to purchase our football club and give us pretty much now 20 years of misery?
I'll tell you how.
Well,
because we had some very shrewd sellers.
Yeah. It needs to be looked into further, though, when people are trying to buy football clubs. You know, there needs to be a bit more of a... I think there needs to be assessed a lot deeper, doesn't it, than what it is at the moment? You know, you can go...
You're dead right. And I've even heard, right, that the fit and proper persons test people accepted a check, a name on a checkbook.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say a Disney one, by the way?
Go
on.
The Little Mermaid in Brum.
Oh, yeah. That's the winner tonight so far. Whose was that one?
It's going
That's mine.
again.
Crap again.
I like this one.
Ah,
On top four.
This one from Jason's good.
Go on, Paul. Hang on. Go on, Paul.
Ted McMinnie Mouse.
Ed McMinnie Mouse. I love
Ted
that one.
McMinnie Mouse.
Not worth the wait.
Jason Hughes.
What, ladies and gentlemen, are Birmingham Council doing? Stopping all the burger vans being outside the Blues.
oh yeah.
It was the best part of going to the football, smelling them onions
Yeah.
500 yards away. And whether you had one before or you had one after, and they were dirty and they were greasy and they were full of tomato sauce and onions, which had obviously been frozen. It was part of our day.
Oh, no.
Birmingham Council, hang your heads in shame for preventing all of those people from earning a living. You are vile. You are vile.
And when for the Fulham game, I was walking up with a few Fulham fans, and they were saying, "Oh, you know, the burger van's nearby." And I said, "Well, sorry, mate, we haven't got any up here." He says, "You are." Can't believe it. And so I tried to explain to him, like, you know, you're best going to McDonald's.
Yeah. Get your salmonella somewhere else. Go and get your salmonella somewhere else.
Yeah.
What a disgraceful decision, though.
Yeah.
I know.
This one.
I refer back further to my comment.
That's made that prevent the burger vans from being outside St Andrews. I want that person's name, right?
Wasn't me.
Who was it?
Oh, that's a belter. That is from Pete Taylor. Shinny the Pooh.
Oh! I
That's a
don't
good
think
one.
that Disney was it. Disney was it? Wasn't Disney?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh's Disney, yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Well, Shinny the Pooh's Disney as well.
I like that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Burger Camp.
Can't even have a burger in the street outside St Andrews. What is the world coming to?
Which one did you go to, Nick? Which one did you go to?
Sometimes the one outside the club shop, if I was coming round that way. If I was coming through the little alleyway by where the Kingston Bingo Hall used to be. You remember that back?
Yeah, that's all.
If you're as old as Chris Brown. The one just there.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because they want us to spend the money in the stadium? Possibly.
No, I don't think so. It's just Birmingham Council.
The stand with all the facilities in is shut.
Yeah.
Erosion of your privileges.
Well, that's true, that is, Alan. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they should be hiring these people to sell the stuff.
Yeah.
You think they've gone for good? Do you think they'll ever come back?
I don't think so, mate. A burger outside a football ground is tradition.
It is.
It is what football fans love. We love the smells, the sounds, the sights, everything about it, right? And you're just eroding this bit by bit by bit. And I don't know whether you're going to get away with it. Council elections are coming up soon, ladies and gents, in Birmingham.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, there you go. Chris Brown's confirmed that.
Yeah, I'm Solihull, by the way. We're too posh.
If your local councillor around Small Heath, Borsley Green, and around that area doesn't agree to allow the burger vans back, you know where your vote's going.
A petition is what we need, apparently. A petition.
I mean, come on.
We got Pucker Boys back, don't we? So let's hope we get the burger vans back.
Fan power.
Yeah.
Let's get the smell of that grease and onions back. We need it.
You know what? Power. I am really, really, really disappointed. I'm sat there, and little Jack comes round with his pucker pie, and he's got Balti in it. He's got Balti in a pucker pie.
They are nice.
No.
Yeah, lovely. Anyway, I think we've come to the end, Nick.
Putting your breakfast cereal in the washing up this morning, mate. You did a grand job there for your nanny. You did a grand job. Put it in the sink, Joe. Yeah, no problem. It's full of cereal.
Still picture that, yeah.
Lad. Great to see Jane. Great to see Sally. Great to see Linda the other day. Lewis, Ronnie, and all my friends, Steve Portman. You know what? Boom. My family. It is a family. And this is never, ever, ever think about abusing another supporter in our football club or another supporter or a fan from anybody else's football club, because we are the Blues family. The Blues family. End of.
Amen to that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, just one quick thing. Steve Portman's just said they're moved from the streets that closed. So, yeah, it's kind of worked in conjunction of when the streets have been closed. I think because those streets where the burger van were are now closed, aren't they, on a match day?
They've been closed for a long time.
Yeah. So
I can't get a bus back to the station. I have to walk.
Mad.
To walk, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? Boom. I don't know. All right. A burger. You're on the way to the football, yeah? You've got that flour on top of the bread, haven't you? Right, and then a burger, and then you slab of cheese on it and some frozen onion and some tomato sauce. And it gets down your shirt, and it's beautiful. Because when you get home, that image of all that tomato sauce and fat and grease that's on your shirt is a reminder of your day.
You'd have it at about 1 o'clock, and you can still taste it at 7:30 on the night, can't you?
Yeah, you're right,
yeah.
Ouch, a bit of onion comes up.
I was outside Bramall Lane, and I bought a burger, and I said to the guy, do you mind putting the bun on the grill to warm it up, because it's freezing. I can't stand cold bread and hot buns. And he said, oh, it's a bit greasy. And I said, I didn't know you was a health food shop, mate. Don't worry about it. Just get it on.
We're so happy.
Oh, I've heard a rumour, ladies and gentlemen. The body shop is coming to my hometown, and I'm first in the queue for a new one. Oh man, it's gone 9 o'clock, Rowdy. Where have we gone to?
I've been giving you a sign for ages.
We've had 90 minutes of talk, fun, laughter, as we always do every single week on the Tilton Talk Show. And it's been a pleasure and an honour, always, every single week, even though I can't get into the studio at the minute because my clutch is rather tatered, shall we say, on the air car, Chris. Sorry about that, but, you know, there comes a time for everything to go. Chris Brown. But this has been the Tilton Talk Show. 90 minutes of absolute pleasure. Talking to the best people in the world. Not only the guys out there on the other cameras, but you people as well. You know what? You amaze me. You're beautiful. You're brilliant. We need to just wheedle the odd idiot out. Wheedle the odd idiot out, ladies and gentlemen. And but you know what we do? We keep right on to the end of the road. The song, the anthem that is ours. Read the words after the show in your head, and always keep the faith. Ladies and gents, this has been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boylesports, in conjunction with my French Polish friends, M.A.REILLY, the Garrison Coffee Company, and of course with Accessory Blues, STS Autos, Blues Trust, and TJ Monkey's Garage, and a host of charities that we support up and down the country, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for being with us tonight. We look forward to getting a win against Preston. If we don't, you know what? We'll regroup and we'll go again, because with Birmingham City, we never, ever give up. Thanks so much to the team tonight. What a great team they are. The one and only Mr. Roll.
Good night, everybody. Hope everyone has a nice, safe week.
Paul Hipkiss, a.k.a. Mr. Sheen.
Pleasure as always. Keep right on, good on all. Come on, you Blues on Saturday.
Oh, thanks so much, mate. You're a megastar. A megastar, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute megastar. Who's learning to look into the camera right now. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Chris Brown.
Good evening, goodbye.
I don't know how he does it. You actually look like Mrs. Brown. Right, Chris, next week I want you to have a big brown mop on the side of your face.
That is my face.